Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole, and I am creating this series here on YouTube so that you can follow my journey as I travel across the world for the next 4 months. I'm fleeing the United States, and I am looking for a place that is more conducive for a more calm way of living, more peaceful, and just is more in alignment with who I am and who I want to be, right? So let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a mental health therapist. I am a women's wellness retreat curator. I've held several retreats across the United States and some here locally. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, which is the Midwest of the United States. Outside of that, I am an avid traveler. I love to travel. It just brings me a sense of peace and wellness that is unexplainable. I am more like myself when I am outside of St. Louis. I just feel freer. I just feel happier, and travel just really allows me to connect with other people. I feel like God created this earth for us to see all of it, not just one spot that we were born in. So I think it's important to venture out and meet people and see how other folks are living in other parts of this great world that is made just for us. So that's part of the journey too. So I want to bring you along on this journey as I flee the United States. So I use that term not lightly, but and not really in a sense of, well, in a sense of joking, but not joking. I'm not like in present danger, because that's what the term fleeing means, right? Like you're in present danger. So I'm not in present danger, but there is a lot going on in the States that just does not gel well with who I am and who I want to be. There's this hustle culture mentality that just is not how I'm trying to live my life, right? I am looking for a place that is a bit more affordable, where I don't have to be on the grind all the time in order to feel like I'm just barely, making enough headspace to survive, right? So I don't want to do that. I want to be in a place where, yes, I have to work in order to survive and to, take care of my basic essentials, but that money goes a bit further, and it's not the mentality of everyone around me that work and what I do is more important than who I am and how I show up for the people that mean something to me, right? So that's probably the huge part about all of this travel. So the goal is for this 4 months to venture around to different places and discover what wellness looks like in those places. Do I feel aligned to the people, the places, the things in that place where I can see myself living there long term, or who knows, maybe short term, but can I see myself in this space with whatever's going on there, right? Can I get used to the culture? Can I get used to just the way of living in these various places where I can see myself lying a bit of some roots? But me being who I am, I know that like the likelihood for me to stay one place for forever is probably not what I'm going to do. Um, I am a nomad by design, I think. I like spontaneity. I thrive off of change, and being uncomfortable is difficult, but it's okay. So learning how to be uncomfortable has been a part of my journey, and that's something that I try to teach my clients all the time. So yeah, I don't know that I'll stay in one place for forever. I might stay there for a while, a couple of years, and who knows, do this thing all over again. But I want to bring everyone along with me as I determine it and discover that. So that's what this is about. So this is just a little short intro so you know who I am and what I'm doing in these next 4 months. So I'm starting this journey out in September. and I'll tell you where I'm going. Right before I get there, each new place, I'll tell you prior, like while I'm there or once I get there, but it'll be a surprise because although I have something mapped out up here in my head about where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing, it probably will change. I'm up for that. I'm up for that changing just depending upon, the circumstances of the last place to the next place, right? So, yeah, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a little nerve wracking as well, right? But join me along that on this journey for sure. A couple of things you should know. One of those things is that prior to me moving, I have about 4 weeks. Prior to me going out on this journey, I'm actually moving from my place of residence, like my actual physical apartment that I am currently renting. So I am also packing up this entire apartment, putting things, selling things, giving away things. I'm hoping not to have to get a storage unit, but I might need somebody's corner of their basement or room that they're not using so that I can store a couple of things like personal items that I don't want to get rid of. But that is also part of this. So not only does this journey look like me trying to navigate like visa processes, buying flights, securing accommodations for where I'm gonna live every day, but it also looks like me packing and reorganizing my stuff, right? And the interesting part of this all, which I didn't even know, God is funny. God puts things together and we don't even know that's what's going on, right? So 2 years ago, actually, I guess it's been more than 2 years ago. What is this, 2025? So 3 years ago, I owned a home that I had owned for about 8 years here in the city of St. Louis, or in the St. Louis area. Love my home, it's great, but I had decided to do something different. So I decided to sell my home and look into getting a property where I could live on one side and rent out the other side, right? Well, I did some things a little backwards, right? So learn from my mistakes. I did some things a little backwards and I sold the home first because the opportunity came for me to sell it for some really good amount of money. And so I sold the home first. And, but I guess since what I learned is that like things had changed a little bit from when I initially bought that home to starting the process of buying another home. So things had changed for me personally as well as in the market and such. So I sold the home really fast to a company that allowed me to rent it back from them as well. And so I sold the home, and at that time I had just started my private practice. So I'm a mental health therapist. I see all my clients virtually. So that's one of the ways I'm able to travel. And so I had not been in business for myself for very long. Well, turns out that no bank wanted to give me a loan because I had not been in business for myself for very long. So I didn't have like the proof that I could sustain, the financials and all those things. So I had already sold the home. So it was too late, right? To kind of like reverse track. So you live and you learn, no big deal, right? So, but who knew that was in preparation for where I am today? Because when I sold that home, I did rent it back from that company that I initially sold it from for a little bit of time. But then I moved into an apartment as I was still kind of on this journey of let me, get my financial proof at owning the business for the amount of time that they said that I needed to in order to be able to secure financing for the next venture. Well, in that meantime, I like this apartment living, right? It's kind of a resort style apartment and it's been going well, and things that geared me up to be in a position, and all of that to say that geared me up to be in a position to be able to take this journey across the world and potentially move out of the United States, right? So me selling my home that was like 1,300 square feet, I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff in order to move into a 600 square foot apartment. And I am in a position now to be able to travel and potentially move because I don't have that ownership and I don't have to worry about all the things and all the places. And who knew that like that was like the catalyst for me to be in this position 3 years later. That's how I choose to look at it. Other people might choose to look at it a different way, but I think this was just, I think that was the start of this whole thing that I didn't even know was a part of my journey. So I'm bringing you along on this journey with me. I hope you're excited. I'm really excited. Yeah, so my name's Nicole. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my crazy life of fleeing the United States.